down. I was about to say, when you do go a little bit more turret light, you run the risk of just exposing everything in your base. But Canata able to take that observer down best, just suiciding it in, getting a good look. And now we're seeing a switch over to Reaver. And this actually might catch Canata off guard, because this is a very late Reaver switch. This is, again, after the expansion. He might not be expecting it. We're also seeing a Citadel of Adun, and it looks like we're going to see Arbiter to follow. So I think what we're going to see is a Reaver harass to try to slow Canata's economy down, and then a quick switch. And this almost feels a little bit slapdash here by Best, and I don't know that this is really going to work for him, but he's got to do something. Basically, got to get some Reaver damage done, and then run up and try to take that third as quickly as possible as soon as he has Reavers and Dragoons to kind of hold it. He's basically denying Canata any sort of aggressive stance in the mid game, but really if Canata can get some of those factories up, if he goes for any sort of timing push, and he has maybe even a science vessel to support, I think that's going to be endgame, really. Kanata's got a lot of room to work with, and it looks like he is putting down some additional factories. He's actually just going to go straight for a third. Let's see if he can... again, this is really going to come down to everything with this Reaver harass. This Reaver coming in, it looks like that shuttle going to get spot out, which does not help at all. There's the Arbiter Tribunal. Everything all at once right there. And yeah, it looks like that shuttle's actually just going to back off. And again, I feel like he needs to do some sort of economic damage with that, unless he's going to go in for a really brutal attack. Really, this kind of feels like a bad situation. Okay, I think he's just posturing good. Okay, Best is posturing as though he's taking the third, but ultimately, and wow, nice pickoff by Canata, able to take that probe down before it was able to plant that pylon wall. Pylon wall definitely helps it in defending that 3 o'clock, but I think this is just posturing from Best. I don't think he's really interested in taking that 3 o'clock base. I think if he does take that 3 o'clock base, he's going to end up in a lot of trouble. He's already playing economic catch-up, as it were, and I think what he's really more concerned about is going for some sort of large, it looks like he's going to go for a timing push off Arbiters, maybe have that Reaver alongside. But again, I feel like Kanata's got enough of a solid defense. He has had enough of an economy. He's got enough troops that he's going to be able to defend this, unless there's some absolutely brilliant micro, because Best has done absolutely zero economic damage. Going the expansion when he did, his economy is still in good position, but it's really not comparable to Kanata's. Kanata didn't really receive any economic damage. He went pretty light on the turrets. It looks like some of those troops going to the north. And right now, it looks like Best actually choosing a really good engagement point. A lot of mines there on the forward position. Let's see if he can... Okay, he is going to be able to drop, take out a little bit here. He might be able to get some SCVs with this Reaver drop, especially... it depends on the... Go, 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 go. I hate that. Dud. And it explodes next to Vultures too, and the Vultures are like, whatevs. Didn't take any damage from that. That's genius. Now Best playing the catch-up game, putting down his third after Canata, and he's got to get a brilliant recall to win it from this stage on. Really, he's in a lot of trouble here. Canata can just play the slow upgrade game. He's just going to have the economic advantage from this stage on, and it just puts him in a really good position to win this match. Ooh, careful. That Reaver... Again, another dud. That's so lame. And it just seems like almost... I don't know what it is lately. Maybe all Terran have figured out the perfect way to make every single Scarab a dud off the mechanics, and they just practice it all day on some micro map. They're just running back and forth. But it feels like Scarabs have just been retarded for Protoss lately, where they have done absolutely nothing. Where it just feels like Reavers are... You might as well just throw the minerals into the ocean right there. In fact, they ought to have the probes right there with a shovel at that natural secondary. There's a big pit right there. They can just shovel the minerals over there instead of actually building a Reaver or a Scarab. And then every time, they spend 15 minerals, just shovel them down there. Equivalently. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it just seems like that's been happening a lot lately. Arbiter's now in play, though. Best still needs to get some sort of damage done. It obviously is the best position he can do that is at 12 o'clock. If he can go for some sort of posture attack, basically bring some Dragoons up, maybe that Reaver up to the 12 o'clock, and then go for a recall maybe over that natural secondary, just a sacrificial recall, just to take out some of the SCVs. He can catch up in this, but right now it looks like Canata is in a good position. He's got those Vultures out, wandering all over there, planting mines, being annoying, delaying additional bases. Nice mine drag there, though. Let's see the mines working just fine. The Scarab's not. Beautiful delay there again by Canata, picking off that probe underneath and just being annoying, just being frustrating, just slowing Best down. And again, off these 3 bases, he can just sit back. I almost feel like he could play camper at this stage. He can just wait for the upgrades. He's got the science vessel. Just make sure he gets some good EMPs. I don't like it when players do that, and I think that's very dangerous at this level of play because you're giving your opponent opportunities. But at the same time, yeah, he's going to have the economic edge, he's going to have the troop count edge, he's just going to be in a great position overall. And it looks like he's, as long as he can track an Arbiter moving in, he can get a pretty good EMP off and kind of neutralize that. The Vulture is going to be a little bit less effective now, as long as those Dragoons kind of keep position with that Arbiter some out in the field, and as long as the Observers move forward and kind of see them incoming. You can see Best already moving the Observers out in the field to get some good view coverage, because again, he's kind of out where he can wander. And some more turrets being placed, so it looks like Canata really anticipating, so he's really worried actually about his supply depots, kind of the vulnerability of the Terran army. Every once in a while when you're doing this sort of thing is you get a recall across your supply, lose all of your supply depots, you're in the red, and it just really hurts. Best is starting to move out. It looks like he's, I think this is just again mostly to get position around Canata to try to minimize those Vulture, that Vulture harass. Trying to consolidate here at the 6 o'clock, and that's the other thing is for the Protoss, even going out, because Vultures can wander out so freely out in the field because there's so much position, you have to plant down additional cannons, and it just feels like it takes a while for your economy to get rolling. I would not be surprised if Canata, as soon as he has these 2 factories up, lifts up and starts crushing things summarily. Let's see if he decides actually just to go bottom left. And that's the one thing about this is the stage where I feel like Terran need to, instead of trying to play the shell game, they need to go out and they need to get the damage done kind of at this stage of the match. Because otherwise, if they go for an additional base somewhere out in the field, upper right, whatever, instead of just denying Protoss expansions, they end up just having too much territory to cover, and they end up in a really bad position in that regard. And it looks like, in fact, Canata is going for the 1 o'clock, and this is where, yeah, you end up vulnerable. I really we'll see if Best can exploit it. He's just had a couple troops in those mines doing just all out in the field, taking another hit from those mines. Finally, the Zealots just run it. Zealots just running headlong, and they're like, whatever, taking care of it. So more Vultures out in the field. Looks like they're engaged. Looks like this is the big Arbiter moving out in the field. Looks like it's headed for a recall again at that natural secondary. So posturing to the north, looking for a recall natural secondary. The engineering base seeing a lot of turrets there to try to stop it. Isn't going to stop it. Recall gets in. Beautiful.